Wow. So yeah, since I have more time me making this video, and I will make more videos, and it's coming up very soon. So stay tuned. And anyway, man. So in this video, I will be talking about my life is how was my life in Irvington High School, right? Oh, 1 second. I need to clean up my camera. Yeah, because I do not want to get a dislike just because I have a dirty camera recording my dirty video, make my video dirty due to dirty camera. So yeah, so every little thing when I make a video, I have to like fix out all these minor things and like distraction. And yeah, man, I just have to fix all these little things, man. That could give me a dislike. So yeah, there I go. I just solved my problem. And yeah, man, in this video I'll be talking about yeah, what is Irvington, right? Irvington is a high school, right? Where I started in 2012 and ended in 2016 of June. So spend 4 years, of course, man. Like everybody that goes through high school has to spend 4 years there. So yeah, so I'll be explaining like how was life in like Irvington, right? And do you think I like Irvington? Well, to be honest, let me take this back. So I honestly hated Irvington a lot, and I'll give you a reason why I hate Irvington. And also like and also like how tough it is, right? Yeah, because Irvington, when you go to Irvington High School, you know there are really tough requirements, right? So passing Irvington is a little more difficult comparing to other high school. Well, maybe except for Mission San Jose, because Mission San Jose I heard is another challenging school too, in Fremont, right? I think Irvington's probably the toughest high school that I ever been to, but I don't know about any other high school. Maybe they have tougher requirement in Irvington in certain area, or have more requirement and tougher in general. I don't know, man, but I heard Irvington's a pretty tough school, and also I went there. So yeah, man. So, so be, so just a warning, man. If you are in, like currently in Horner Junior High, or if you're like in elementary stuff, and if you see me watching the Irvington video, you will definitely know how difficult this school is gonna be, cause I've been there, right? And I know how things are. So yeah, so for Irvington High School, for you to graduate on time, you know, you need at least 230 credits, right? Yeah, and you know that passing each class for like 1 semester is worth 10 credit, right? So yeah, man. So that means you have to take 6 class every semester, right? In Irvington, right? Goes same thing with every high school. Like there's only like 1 through 6 period, and then there is a seventh period. I mean, which is after school. Zero period, which is before the regular school time starts, right? I had never taken zero period or seventh period in school because you know I always pass my class, and I graduate on time with some extra credit left. So yeah, so if you take like the regular school hours, like passing 10 credit like every single class time, then every semester if you pass like all your class, then you gain 60 credits. So in a wait, I don't know how it works. Oh no, it's 5 credits, not 10 credits per class. It's 5 credits per class. So that means you have 30. That means if you pass all your class in 1 semester, I mean you have 30 credits in each semester, right? And there's 2 semesters in a year, right? So if you pass all your classes without flunking any class, if you pass all your 6 class like 2 times in 2 semester in 1 year, then you gain total 60 credits, and you need 230 credits to pass Irvington High School, right? So that means in general, that means you can only fail like 2 class and you could still graduate on time. So yeah, so that means you cannot fail a lot of classes. If you fail 3 more classes, then you're not gonna graduate Irvington High School. And there's a way to make up with it. So like I said, man, you either take like 0 or 7 period, or you can go to adult school, or you take summer school, which sucks too. because going to summer school just wastes your time. Like if you have a chance to pass your class, just pass it. Like it's common sense, because you don't want to waste more of your time like being in school, which sucks. Yeah, and I honestly hate being in school. That was like back in high school, right? I honestly do, and yeah. And also, what's another tough thing about Irvington is? Another tough challenge is that you have to do your benchmark, which is like worth 25% of your like English or history grade or whatever class it is. And that's also part of the requirement. So if you're a freshman, if you're a freshman, then you have to do there's like three type of benchmark that Irvington requires to order to pass. So there is change project, there is the whip, and there is quest, right? Yeah, so if you're a freshman, you have to do your change project, right? Which is worth about, I don't know, 25% your grade. And yeah, so I don't know like what change project is, because I haven't done it for a while, and it was a long time ago. It was like nearly 6 years ago that I haven't done change project, because I passed change project like 6 years ago, right? So technically for change project, you do in your freshman year, you get into your groups of 4 or 5 people, and then you pick a topic of like what you should do to like help the environment and stuff. Like I give you example like plastic bags, and I've got like collecting garbage, and also I forgot, man. I forgot. So yeah. And then for your sophomore year, you're doing the whip, right? Yeah, so it's very similar like change project, except it's like similar to change project, like for whip, except you're doing like more about the history stuff, and you still work in groups, right? And for your quest project, you have to work by yourself, which sucks. So quest project is actually much harder than change project and whip, because whip and change project, you work in groups, right? But then it could be a little hard because you have to depend on your other group mates if they been productive or not. So if they're not productive, then tough luck. And but in quest, you have to work all by yourself, because and then also it's a lot more assignment too. So for quest, right? So there are my 3 benchmark that you have to do to order pass Irvington High School. And yeah, man, it just requires so much time and stuff. And also I forgot there's another requirement of how you pass like every high school stuff. There's one thing I totally forgot. You have to do 40 service hours to order pass Irvington High School. Well, is 40 hour a lot? I mean, that's definitely more than a day, because a day is a 24-hour, and well, nah, it's not that much, In 4 years, get done community service. So come on, you can get this done right away, I mean, some benchmark even requires community service hour just for you to pass it. So I heard for quest you need 10 community service hour, but for whip it doesn't require anything, and then change is like 10 hours. So there you go, man, like 20 hours like out of your way. So that means you have to do 20 hours on something else as volunteer community service. I mean, you could just do over the summer, because since you have a lot of time and stuff. Not, I mean, unless you go work, then different story. So yeah, you could just take care of like, you could just do over the summer and get rid of 20 hours, and that's your 40 hours. So people can't make an excuse like why they cannot do 40 service hour in each high school, including Irvington, right? There's no excuse. So it's just pretty simple, pretty easy. Just follow instruction and do your work, and okay, service hour is out of your way. So community service hour, right? I mean, anybody can do it, Like, I'm pretty sure, like, in junior high, you actually have to do it too, right? Yeah, so I'm not going to go too much into it because it's too easy. So anyway, man, so let me explain like what happened in my freshman year. So now I have to go a little quicker because the video is getting a little too long. So how was my high school year back in my freshman year? Well, it was a troublesome year. I could say it's a troublesome year, but I say that it's kind of medium year. Like my freshman year, I get tends to be lost in Irvington High School, right? Yeah, and also let me think like what I did back in Irvington. Yeah, and also I was like goofing around a lot too. Like I cannot remember like what I did back in my freshman year because it was so long ago. Yeah, and also I did a change project, right? And you know what's my change project topic is for in my freshman year is plastic bag, right? So I get into a group of actually 5 people, right? Back in my freshman year, and oh yeah, and after saying this video, like what class that I took in my freshman year. So I took English class, I took science class, and I did not take any history. Yeah, because you don't take history class until you're like sophomore year in Irvington. So health and science and English, and I definitely took PE. I definitely took sculpture class, and I forgot, man. But yeah, man, I think that's like 5 classes, but I don't have to list all of them here, right? Oh yeah, and I also took math class too, so in SDC class. So yeah, man. So yeah, that's the 6 class I took, and also the next semester after the first semester, I still take the same type of class. Didn't take any different class, so and I passed all my classes, right? Because I work hard, right? Yeah, for English class, after I mean it's pretty easy class, but anyway, I have to like write a research paper like within like every single month, right? 2-page paper, double type, and yeah, and also I struggle with writing and stuff, so that's why I have to like spend a lot of time with it, and I have to do research and all that stuff, and also I did do like kind of like a book report back in like my freshman year too, right? I forgot what the book was called, man. But anyway, it's not that important. So let me get into more about change project in Irvington, right? So what I did for change project, I mean, you guys will be asking like what I did for change project. Yeah, so for the plastic bag, I just like went around the neighborhood and passed out the flyers and encouraging people like do not throw plastic bag out of the way, and tell them how much plastic are in the wasteland, in the landfill, just to alert them and make them change their mind and help the environment, right? Yep. Yeah, I think like tons of plastic bag was like got disposed every year, and it takes like 500 years to decompose. That's why I learned from Change Project. 500 years. That's like 5 centuries, and that's like half of 1,000 years. So that's a really long time to like just to get decomposed and stuff. And that's why it's a serious problem in our environment, right? So anyway, and also I forgot to mention like what I mean how ridiculously hard is PE is in Irvington. Irvington is not the ridiculous hard. I mean I exaggerate a little over, but yeah, they make you like run booms and stuff. People don't know what the heck is boom is in Irvington. Yeah, boom is spelled like BUM, right? Yeah, so for the boom, I mean, if you take PE in Irvington, you know what boom is, right? It's a little over a mile, and there's 2 type of boom. So one is called a freshman boom, and one is called a sophomore boom, right? The sophomore boom is definitely longer than the freshman boom by like a quarter mile, or almost a quarter mile, right? So for the freshman boom, it is like 1.25 miles long, and for the sophomore boom, it's 1.5 miles long. So it's really long, right? So yeah, and tip for the recommend time for people to run the freshman boom is like, I don't know, 10 or 11 minutes. Yeah, so oh yeah, and I did read the freshman boom, right? In Irvington, right? And I definitely got an A because I'm really fast and stuff, right? Yeah, for freshman boom, I was pretty fast back then. You know, I usually get around like 8 minutes, and you know, my fastest like freshman boom was like 7:20 something. I don't know, man. But yeah, and by the end of like 2012, I get around like 7:40 or 30, and that's freaking and fast. So that's like 6 minutes a mile, don't you think? Yeah, cause my first freshman boom was actually like around like 8 something. Cause I never ran the freshman boom, and I ran like kind of slow, you know. And I'm kind of like new to Irvington, and I was like nervous, and I don't know where to run. That's why I run really slow back then. But then as I get used to it, I get faster and faster. Then I could not get past 7 minutes. And one time I did cheat the freshman boom too, which is not good. Yeah, and I cut like over 100 meters, and then my freshman boom time for that time was like 7:15, and then you know my my coach, I mean my PE teacher, like Larson Nelson, he said that Vince, you have to add 20 seconds to your original boom time because you cheated, and I put at 7:35, added 20 seconds, right? Yeah, everybody knows I cheated, and it was like disgraceful. But I didn't get in trouble with Irvington, right? He said, "Why do you cut Vince?" Is like, because you know I just want to get a better time. I'm getting sick and tired of like getting the same old bump time every time. But cheating is not good too, right? And it was horrible. Now that was like my freshman year, and that was a spoil. And anyway, enough with the boom, and gotta talk a little faster. And yeah, and for change project, I did pass, and I was honestly very nervous when I speak in front of like everybody. And that's another thing with change project. At the end of like of the year, like around April or May, like you have to speak in front of like the whole audience, like which makes you like really nervous. And I was nervous too, so yeah, and let me go with freshman year, like, and also I didn't get in trouble like several times in my freshman year. So my freshman year, you know, I like grabbed a student because I just want to arm wrestle him, and then his name's Ryan Green, and he punched me, and I punched him back, and he reported me to the principal and got detention, right? And then you know, and then after that, you know, a few weeks later, I always like stalked Austin Morris, and then he report me, and then I just got in trouble with my parents and possibly got punished. And then you know, and back in during the end of the year, you know, this kid told me to. Oh, sorry. I forgot to mention something's video that I want to add it, and it's really important. And so, there's one thing I really like about Irvington is mainly because one thing I like about Irvington is the rally part, right? You know, where like people cheer you up, where they do lots of like fun things, and that's everybody's favorite part when they went to high school, right? You know, is the rally, right? So technically, you know, as freshmen you're supposed to say I, and then for sophomore you're supposed to say H, and for junior year you're supposed to say S, and for senior you keep saying senior. Yeah, that's one thing I love about Irvington. It's mainly the rally, right? So sorry I had to add this in my video, and I did mess up a lot, you know, because it's just lots of like thinking and all stuff. And I graduated high school like freaking like almost 3 years ago, right? That's insanely so long ago, right? And so, you know, I think there's rally like 5 times a year, right? And so for your high school, it's a total of 20 rallies, right? I mean, as you get older, if you attend rally like after like 10 times, and then it's always gets like boring and all stuff, right? But for me, and for you, if you love the rally, just hit thumbs up for the Irvington rally part. Yeah, I honestly like still go to Irvington just to like visit rally and stuff, but then I don't do anymore, cause you know, cause I outgrown it, right? Yeah, I'm like 20 years old already, and I'm like out of my teenage year. So that's another thing I forgot to mention about Irvington, right? Yeah, and I was never a rally commissioner, right? Yeah, and I do love rallies. I do. So just to keep that in mind, and it's really fun. And yeah, like I said, man, rally happens only 5 times a year. So peace out. Shut up, and in class, constantly in class, in my math class, and I was pissed off, and after class I just sneak up to him and like kicked him, and then he, you know, and he kicked my backpack and sent me principal office, and I got suspended for 3 days. So I did got suspended at the end of my freshman year, which I could avoid, because it's just a few more days of school and I just could be chilling, but no, I just goofed off and gets in trouble. So not much to say about my freshman year, and yeah, and not gonna explain the whole thing. So I only explain you part of the important things what happened in my freshman year. And then let's go to the sophomore year real quick, because this camera is about to stop recording. So sophomore year is yeah, not much different my freshman year, and I did get one suspension, right? For just twisting a girl's arm. Well, technically, because I was angry back then, this girl say something that made me pissed off, and then, I grabbed the wrong girl and twist her arm like really hard, and she was literally crying, and I really attack people when I'm angry, and then I got suspended for definitely 3 days, and it was worse than my behavior was definitely, and my action was definitely worse than I did my freshman year. It was worse. Anyway, man, enough with that, and let's get into this whip year. So my sophomore year, I did my whip, and it was about the Sudan thing, right? And I passed with the C, because I did all by myself. I didn't get any parents' help. I just worked my group, I passed with a C. So, which I boost my grade down a little bit, but I passed because I'm so happy, right? And I took the pretty much like science, English, I take like history now, and I still take PE, and also then I took computer class. No, I did not take computer class, but I took full class, because all of the elective class was like taked up, right? Oh, I forgot to let me rewind back to my freshman year. Yeah, and I took sculpture class and I enjoyed it, right? Yeah, I did took sculpture, and also I made a lot of friends there too. So sorry I forgot to mention that. So yeah, it was the biggest part of my freshman year too, right? And teacher, his name is Mr. Minty. Yeah, but so why did I do my sculpture? Just do sculpture, and I made a lot of friends there, and we even watched some like movies and stuff. So anyway, let's jump back to sophomore year. So sorry I did mess up a little bit there. But yeah, I actually took photo in my sophomore year too, right? Yeah, I did, and it was really a pain for me, man. It was kind of hard. But then, I have a lot of missing assignment, and then I got to a D minus, and my teacher was worried that I'm not going to pass the class. And know that I have to get a teacher aide just to help me pass my photo class, right? And then by the end of my second semester year, I passed photo with the C. Right, and that's another thing I forgot to mention in high school. Like, most high school will let you pass with a D, but then in high school, you can only pass with C. If you get like a D as your grade, then it's called an I, right? That means that if you have an I as your grade, you still have a chance to pass if you do something about it. If you don't do anything about it, then you won't pass the class. Right, so it's good that Irvington is challenging, like not allowing you pass with a D. Right? And even if I pass the class with D, I still will not feel good about it, because D is pretty much unacceptable, right? Yeah, because when you go to college or any other higher like school and levels, and you just cannot pass with a D. You can't, honestly. And then now I start running the sophomore boom since I passed the freshman, and then sophomore boom is honestly a little longer, and I keep getting like freaking like 9 minutes. I just never go past 8 minutes. I think one time I got really close to like under like sub 9 minute, like for like sophomore boom. Yeah, because sophomore boom is like 1.5 miles, and it's really hard to run like past 9 minutes. I mean, the required time for you to get a pass in the sophomore boom and everything is that you have to run under 12 minutes, right? 12 or 13 minutes, something like that. And forgot to mention, as the semester and the quarter go past by, then, the time gets cut down by 30 seconds. So by the end of the sophomore year, Irvington bump time is like, toward again, you have to get under 11 minutes, which is like kind of insanely fast. But for me, I never got past like 9 minutes. I usually get around like 9:30 or 9:40. I wasn't that fast back then, But then like in 2014, like I slow down a lot, you know, because I keep gaining weight, and also my body's getting a little bit slow for like, I forgot what's the reason why. And then my worst, my software boom was like over 10 minutes, so I got like a 10:02 or 10:04. So yeah, mainly because I didn't want to try hard, and I was really tired back then, and I was a choker. So yeah, I did get a little bit slower in 2014, which is why I don't like 2014, right? I mean, yeah, so I think that's enough with my sophomore year. Not much to explain. Then in my 11th grade year, you know, things get a little harder, but I can handle it. Actually get a little easier, you know, because as for my junior year, I took like cooking class, and I took and also I was a TA, right? You know, for TA, I just like walk around the school and like pass out, and also yeah, I just technically like help out teachers do work or something like that, right? Yeah, and it was happened to be my case manager, right? So yeah, so that's what I did for a TA. So I just mostly like grade stuff, grade people's work, and do other stuff. So yeah, I was a TA, and also I did took cooking class, and yeah, it was like, and it was good because I can cook like healthy food for myself in the future, and yeah, it's good to take and also I did take a computer class in like in my in my junior year, but then it was too hard, so I technically dropped out and took another class, and I forgot what it is, right? So for my junior year, you know, and also I took geometry too, right? Yeah, geometry was really hard, even though I'm really good at math stuff, because of lots of like measuring stuff and lots of like knowledge and stuff, you know, and terms. Like yeah, that's why geometry was really hard. But then I got used to it, and then you know, and I passed with like an A or a B. I forgot, but I think I did get an A one time. But anyway, so and I had a really good GPA of like 3.5, but then you know once you get to my senior year, you know, it dropped by like a whole point, mainly because I goofed off my senior year. And also I forgot to mention my junior year. Like since I'm a DSPS student, you know, I actually can take Quest like in 2 years instead of 1 year, because usually Quest is finished like within like a year or so, right? But since you know, since I'm a DSPS student, you know, think schedules are different, everything is different. You know, I get double amount of time my Quest, so make things much easier. And this is why I have a lot of times in my senior year, which I can just chill and relax. And this is how I got into a lot of trouble, maybe because I have a lot of free time my senior year, right? So I did have my Quest in my junior year, and then I did the other half in my senior year and got all done and did my Quest presentation. It was on like highly processed food. You know, that's been the biggest problem in the United States, is I spent so much time on it, and also was difficult. Quest was pretty difficult. Like you have to do like service hour, make you force you to service hour, which shouldn't be a problem, but it's just a lots of like writing and all that stuff, right? And I had to go to a consultant too, right? And that's another thing. So I got it done in 2 years, which should be much easier. I mean, doubling the time makes things much easier, right? Yeah, and I definitely passed with an A. So I thought Quest presentation is gonna be like nightmare difficulty, but it's not that hard, to be honest, right? And a lot of people passed it too, so that's another good thing, right? So yeah, for my Quest, I just had a lots of like behavior problem, and I got suspended twice, right? So sorry I cannot explain my how I get suspended twice. It's mainly because I'm already explaining my older videos, and also the camera's about to die, so I have to talk a little quicker. So I'm just gonna skip over it. So for my senior, I did like a lots of stupid things, right? I'm just gonna name you just a couple things, right? In my senior year, right? You know, like I keep hiding from like my friend Michael Song, and every time we head to like business math in the fourth period, you know, I keep hiding from Michael Song. I keep saying big fat no, big fat yes, and we keep hiding like crazy this and awesome like that. And also I keep measuring like my friends' faces, like Mohammed and Shahir. I keep measuring that, measure. I keep measuring the face mainly because they look cool and stuff. Yeah, and they're my friends, right? And also my best friend, my senior year, I don't know. And also I make a lot more friends my senior year. I think my best friends like Tyler Casano, Sean, Mohammed, Sahil. Sahil was my friend, and Mustafa, and I have lots of friends in my senior year, even though I get into a lot of trouble and stuff. Yeah, and also I used to touch a lot of girls too, and back in my senior year, like which is so weird. Because mainly because I think they're cute and stuff, and yeah, that's the lots of stupid thing I did in my senior year too. And also my senior year, like I used to run around a lot, and yeah, and I goof things a lot, right? So that's all I gotta say this for this video, and yeah, and you know why I hate high school the most? I've got to mention that part, mainly because of students distract me from learning, right? Well, mainly I distract mostly myself, right? Well, I mean, it's not the student's fault, it's mostly my fault, right? Yeah, like, it just, and also I feel pressure when, like, people run away from me, or people hate me, or other student hates me in Irvington. Like, it pressures me, like, I want to graduate very soon and want to leave Irvington right away, right? And by the time in June, then things just get a lot more calmer, right? And then I was happy, and everybody was happy that I left high school, especially the people who hates me, right? They glad that I walked out of Irvington. So I think the camera's about to die here, and let's see if it dies. So I might have to say goodbye, and what a nice video, and hope you like this video, and peace out. Nope, the video has died yet, so let me just finish this off, because there's a little timer like how long this video can record. But anyway, let's get into more about senior year. And so I retake my